Shalom, call Halor La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world ignorantly call God. Ba'Hashem, in the name of Yahushua, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. Plus, we give a shout out to the Akim that's pushing and spreading his word throughout the four corners of the earth, who is also uplifting the names Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Shalom to you, Akim. Also, shalom to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers. Though you may look like the heathen nations, you're scattered amongst, which if you don't know, the heathen nations are the nations on this chart, starting from number 2 on down. Those are the heathen nations. Also, if your seed line, real quick, your lineage goes back to these tribes right here through the man. And if his spirit bear witness with his word is true for you, can receive it to the speckled bird, man, when the child. This does apply to you who are Israelites, though you may look like the other nations due to the scattering of these people right here on this chart. So you're going to have Israelites that look like heathens, but they're Israelites. The spirit bear witness with his word. They're under the curses as well. Also, their lineage, most importantly, their lineage goes back to these tribes. So, to the few Akwafas, you sisters that do listen and learn, shalom. To the elect of the nation of Israel, wherever you may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, whose words going out to, shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you combine, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ once again, Yahweh Shah. And I got an article considering, type it up, right? This whole is another thing. This coronavirus thing is way, way huge, man. But this is an article I found, and it says dirty money, the case against using cash during the coronavirus outbreak. Okay, so what I truly believe, is they're gonna use this coronavirus, which most likely they will. They're gonna use this coronavirus outbreak as a excuse to what? To get rid of fiat, paper currency, which is the dollar that you people, carry around, that you flash on, social media. They're gonna do away with that, and what they're gonna usher in? They're gonna usher in the mark of the beast, which is according to Revelations 13 and 16, as I'm gonna get later on in this video to anybody that don't understand it. The mark of the beast is according to Revelations 13:16, is the RFID chip, the microchip implant. Okay, they call it many different names. The very chip, the NFC chip. Okay, so I'm gonna read a portion of this article, and I'm gonna get some scriptures. Yahweh Ratazat, this is edifying. It says the ongoing spread of coronavirus is forcing institutions around the world to rethink one particularly Jeremy surface that most consumers touch every day: cash. And they were a month ago, I believe, or some weeks ago, they was disinfecting the Moabites, which is so-called Chinese. They was trying to disinfect the money because people with the disease or the disease they was catching that had caught the coronavirus. They didn't want any, money is transferred, from from the customer to the cashier. Then cashiers, take it to wherever they take it to. So money is transactionable, if I said that right. But you have in China, I believe, and you have I believe in Japan. Okay, I believe it was in Japan and other countries. What they're doing now, I think Italy too. What they're doing now is they're either trying to disinfect money or they're just burning money. Period, man. Okay, and America's about to take that step. Okay, I believe they're already doing it. But I'm going to keep reading. It says on Friday, South Korea's central bank said it was taking all banknotes out of circulation for 2 weeks and burning some. Well, it was South Korea then. And to reduce the spread of the virus, according to Reuters, it follows China's massive initiative around deep cleaning potentially infected cash with ultraviolet light and high temperatures, in some cases destroying it. The treated cash come from high-risk infection areas such as hospitals. Meanwhile, the Louvre Museum in Paris this week banned cash in with the outbreak. Its decision to accept only credit card payments was part of an effort to make staffers feel more comfortable about returning to work, according to the Associated Press, which they've been doing that, for a minute, okay? You notice if you go back years and years and years, the credit card, people didn't have a chip on it. Now what do you see? They put the chip on it, okay? Where you think that's going to go to next? It's going to go inside your body, okay? They've been prepping you people, with these self-checkout lines and all these other things, okay, for a minute now. They was really getting you prepped, okay, for this new world order. But I'm going to keep reading. It says the concerns over cash come as the global number of people infected by coronavirus nears 100,000, mostly in China. The outbreak may drive up adoption of mobile payments, a newer technology that has long trailed behind cash in the U.S., according to an impressive research firm IDC. Mobile and contactless payments options range from Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and Google Pay, where consumers use smartphones or smartwatches to pay in stores to credit cards with a NFC chip, allowing shoppers to hold them there and ready to pay. And I seen a dude, at my job, he ordered something out of the vending machine, and he used the exact same app that's sent right there to pay for it. He just put his phone up to the little scanning thing, and it took the order. He got what he got out the machine. Okay, it makes sense why they want to use a phone or card in a contactless environment, especially when no signature is required as part of the process, and you don't have to touch the terminal. Press said. Some businesses have already made changes to reduce contact with questionable surfaces. Starbucks temporarily suspended use of personal cups and tumblers at its North American stores, and Instacart rolled out doorstep delivery that doesn't require human contact. With the Louvre, I believe that's what it says, but I don't care what it says. It says efforts to curb the exchange of physical currency could clash with the Bank of France stance on requiring businesses to accept cash. At the same time, many cities in the U.S., including New York City, San Francisco, and the state of New Jersey, have also passed legislation to require cash acceptable, as millions of Americans don't have bank accounts or credit cards. Cash remains the most frequently used form of payment in the U.S., representing about 30% of all transactions, according to the Federal Reserve. Okay? But, this article is gonna keep going, so I think I hit the point. Okay, I think the point was made. We get where they going with it. This is gonna be my first scripture. Right. This is Habakkuk 2. Right? This Habakkuk, I start 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And that's what I'm doing now, and many other occupant brothers out there, that's a warning. You people, mostly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay, on what's happening and what's to come, okay, and what's getting ready to take place, okay. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's what's happening, okay. If you go back and you go back some time ago, we was doing these videos about the RFID chip. People, you got people that believe it's the chip, but the majority of these people out here, they believe that it's not the chip, or they just they question it or debate it, or they just laugh at it, and that's not gonna happen, okay. But now that we at the end, which the end, as I always say to anybody that's new, we go to 2nd Esdras, okay, 6 and 7 for the end. For Esau, Edom, okay, which Esau, Edom, the descendants of Esau, Edom, are the so-called Caucasian race today. They're the Edomites, Okay, they're ruling the planet Earth right now. This is their system. Okay, but Esau, Edom is the end of the world, and Jacob is the 12 tribes of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, are the beginning of it that follows. We're at the end of this man's world, and prophecy is speaking. Everything is becoming more and more clear. Okay, on how this thing is going to play out now. Okay, because these elites, you know, real quick. Bear with me. This is see if I can find it. This is Job 15, and I start at 17. Says, I will show thee, hear me, and that which I have seen I will declare, which wise men have told from their fathers, right? The prophets of old, you know, who are also Israelites, they also did this, and we're doing the same thing now. Like it says in Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, for there is nothing new under the sun. Okay? It's the same thing. Okay? It says, and have not hid it, unto whom alone the earth was given, and no stranger passed among them. And right now, who's the earth given to the hands of? If you go, as I always quote, one of the top scriptures is Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And that wicked, according to Malachi 1 and 4, is the nation of Edom, the so-called white race today on the planet. Okay? The Edomites. Right? The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. Okay? And it's the wicked being not only you Edomites, but the head of you Edomites, you know, is these wicked elites. Okay? Real quick, I'm gonna show you the signs. Anybody, Earth, right? These are the people that's running the show right now. These are the people who, as you see, they're Edomites. Okay, all of them. You know, they're these are guys that's ruling the earth and pushing, you know, death and destruction upon the earth. Okay, these are the head of you Edomites, man. Okay, and you Edomites, you Joe Six Packs in the world, you know, that's driving your pickup trucks. Okay, the system that these people right here created, you're acting it out. If you get what I'm saying, okay. So going back to what I was getting back in Job 15 and 20, it says. Let me read Job 15:20 again. It says, the wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. And these elites, okay, because the elites, they know, okay, the prophecies. They know that they're getting ready to be taken down, okay, and they're scared, okay, they're terrified. It's not just the elites of Esau, but the Edomites are the main elites. You also have the elites of these heathen, other heathen nations. But Esau, considering the nation of Edom, they're terrified. Okay, they're watching all the prophecies come to pass as we speak. Which these prophecies is leading to what? The end of their world, the end of their rulership. Okay, it says a dreadful sound is in his ears, and prosperity destroyer shall come upon them. Who's that destroyer? Okay, the destroyer, okay, is who the world ignorantly calls, okay, Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, okay, is going to send his son Yahweh, okay, to come back and to destroy this system. Like it says in the book of Daniel, that stone, that smoke, the image, okay, was the image, that statue, you know, was of all the heathen empires that ruled. You had the Neo-Babylonian Empire. You had, after that, the Medo-Persian Empire. You had the Greeks. You had the Romans. Then you had what? America, the EU, NATO, which makes up the last empire to rule, which is the revised Roman Empire. Okay, this is what we're in right now. The feet of that statue. Okay, and that stone is Yahweh, represents, Yahweh, the chief cornerstone. He's what? He's coming to smoke that image. Okay, the system. Okay, he is that destroyer that's coming to take this place down. Okay, and the elites know that. It's just you everyday average Joe six-pack Edomites and the rest of you people, including the 2/3 of our own people. They're oblivious. They're completely oblivious. They don't even see how bad this coronavirus is getting. But I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm going to get my next scripture. It says, he believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for the sword. He wanted abroad for bread, saying, where is it? And knoweth not that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. And so, what they're doing now with this whole, cashless, basically trying to make a cashless. They already made a cashless society. If you think about it, the infrastructure is already set up. But now they're gonna really push it, man. Okay? And this coronavirus was a good, it was a good cover up, for them to do it. Because they couldn't just get rid of cash, because then people was going to be questioning them. Okay? So they had to find some way to do it. Okay? Real quick. Because the money, if you really think about it, the money is failed anyway. Okay? The currency that you people use is devalued. Okay? Right? Because if you go back to ancient Egypt, right? What happened there? The money failed there too. Okay? The money failed. Okay? This is Genesis. It was a famine in the land. Okay? It says Genesis 47:1 says, Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brother and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, what is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, thy servants are shepherds, both we also and also our fathers. They said moreover unto Pharaoh, for to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in all the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee, and the best of the land. Make thy father and brethren to dwell in the land of Goshen, and let them dwell, if thou knowest any men of activity among them, that then make them rulers over my cattle. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou? And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years, and few and evil have the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. Right? And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out before Pharaoh, and Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, and the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came on to Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence, for the money faileth? And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When the year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. Okay? So basically, they had cattle, right? Which they received, food. They ran out of cattle, and what? They didn't have nothing. They gave them their bodies up, and they gave their land up. Okay? And this was ancient Egypt. In America being spiritual Egypt, what you think is going to happen with this Egypt? The same thing. See, what you got to understand is these Edomites, a lot of the things they do within their agenda is basically based off ancient, things that happened back in the ancient world, like the New World Order period. That's based off what Nimrod did with the Tower of Babel. Okay? Everybody was speaking one language, okay? And all that. But what happened? Yahweh Bashim Shah destroyed it, as I'm about to get later. Now, the same thing happened. Money fell back in ancient Egypt, and what they do? They made it to where they sold themselves. Okay? It's going to be the same thing with this RFID chip. Let me see. This is Revelations 13. And 16, right? And he are what? The elite bankers, okay? That's running the show. Says, cause of all, both small and great, right? You could be, your average, person that's just working a minimum wage job all the way up to your celebrities. Because these celebrities, I did a video, they're taking a hit due to this coronavirus too, okay? I'm talking about from the sports world, from the entertainment world, and from the music world. Okay, everybody's taking a hit. They're talking about in the NBA. There's still going to be games, but they're not going to be in the stadiums. They're going to have to watch it from home. Okay, due to the spread of the fear of spreading of coronavirus that's out of control already. Okay, and you had LeBron James. I didn't really look into it, but he had had something to say about that. You had Mariah Carey, which I did a video on it, and these other different celebrities is going to be a lot more, okay? Their revenue is going to be impacted by them having to cancel, these shows. And eventually, it's going to get to a point where they won't be able to have a show because it's going to be so bad out here, okay, with this coronavirus, and then all hell's going to break loose. So there won't be no show, most likely, if this thing goes up, okay? So what do you think they're going to do to preserve, the riches, the wealth, and the fame that they have on this side? They're going to take that chip, okay? And these Edomites, okay, these elite bankers, they're going to use these celebrities to push that chip, most likely, to persuade you people, because you people, especially you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, you like idols. You worship idols. You like to follow anybody that's prospering in this world. That's why scriptures say, "Fall not a multitude to do great evil." Okay? But continuing on, I'm going to read it again. It says, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, right? These dudes you got in jail, man. They could come, with these people in prison. They say if you want to, get on parole, you just want to go free, take this chip, and you'll be set free. They could do something like that. What do you think these persons are going to do that's been in there for 25, 35, if not more years, or doing life on death row? They're going to take the chip, okay? To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And the mark is the RFID chip, okay? It's a physical implant, okay? Real quick. It's Karagma, okay? If you go into it, it says a stamp, an imprinted mark things carved, sculptured, graven work. Okay? A scratch or etching. Okay? A badge of servitude, man. Meaning what? A slave, man. Okay? And real quick before I continue on, what I'm gonna show you where, they get this whole idea from, because like I said, these elites, they know somewhat of the scriptures. Okay? A lot of these things that they're doing is nothing but things that was done back in the ancient world, but they're doing it on the left-hand side. They're doing it in wickedness, okay? To be wicked, because they are the wicked. This is Deuteronomy. Let me see. Let me get the other one. I get Exodus 21. Right? This is where they get it from. This is Exodus 21. I'll start the first verse. It says, "Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant 6 years, for he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him on to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or onto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him from ever." So you see the similarities with the same thing with this RFID chip. Back then, they would bore all three, like a cow. You have cattle. A cow. They will. What you see the farmer that owns them. What he'll do is he'll put those tags in his ear. It's the same thing. Cause you people, what you don't understand out there, you masses, especially here in America, okay, you don't understand that to these elites, you're cattle, okay? You're their cattle. You're their source of money, income, okay? Slaves, man, bondmen, bondwomen, especially you Israelites, man, especially you Israelites, because if it wasn't for you, this system would have been built, okay? So this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the same thing, but it's in wickedness. Okay? So going back, this is Revelations 13 and 17, picked up where I left off, right? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay? Here's the wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. It is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, so without this chip, okay, you can't buy, you can't sell, you just can't maneuver in this system. Okay, they're gonna outlaw cash. They're gonna most likely they could however they do it, however the Most High has it, they're gonna make it to where cash is no longer allowed, man. They're just going to fully implement this RFID chip. And you see, if you have spiritual eyes, you see with that article I read to you and what they're doing around the world, you see how it's all adding up. You see how it's coming together. You see what they're doing behind the doors, man. Okay? They're getting ready to implement this RFID chip. A lot of people have already, woken up to what that is now. Okay? So what's going to happen is, they're going to implement this chip. And a lot of people's not going to take it. So they know that. So they're going to what? They're going to try to, behead you, according to Revelation, the 20th chapter. But if you're an Israelite, you're not supposed to take that chip, according to Revelations 14 and 9. It's better to take the death, and the Lord's going to raise you back up. You're going to be raised back up first. Okay? You take it. If you're an Israelite, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, you take that chip, the Lord's going to destroy you with missile fire, man. You don't want that. Okay? Shows you lack faith, and that shows that you see Esau, the so-called white man, as your God, your master. Instead of Yahweh Shema Shah, you basically committed spiritual fornication. So the Lord's going to destroy you for that if you take that chip. But anyway, this is the game plan. This is what this is all leading to. This is what everything has been leading up to. It's basically the microchipping of the world, man. Okay? This is the new world order that these elite banking families want. Okay, of these heathens, chiefly the Edomites. Okay? They're trying to usher that in. And they think people are falling for it, Real quick, the elect already know, what they're planning on doing. This is Matthew 24:24, right? And 23 actually says, then if any man say, if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Yahushua, it says Christ, but his name is Yahushua, or there believe it not, for there shall arise false Christ and false prophets. And Esau set up in these churches, basically, these pastors, man, that's what been feeding you people lies. And these same pastors gonna tell you people, okay, that's still in these churches, to when this chip is implemented, they're gonna be used as well alongside these celebrities. They're gonna tell you that to take the chip, okay? And they're gonna try to use Romans the 13th chapter to justify you taking that chip, okay? But you're not supposed to take it if you're an Israelite. I'm only talking to the Israelites, right? It says, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, which mean what? If it were possible, meaning they can't deceive the elect, because the elect, the Lord, according to Romans, the 11th chapter or the 9th chapter, the Lord has preserved 7,000 men, where 7 is a complete amount of men. He's preserved 7,000 men that shall not bow down to the image of Baal. They're not going to bow down to the system. They're going to take death. And if they don't get put to death, the Lord's going to cover them. Okay? So, we're not deceived, by, Satan's devices, like it says in 2 Corinthians 2:11, man. Okay? This is just another way this is just a way that they're going to try to implement the RFID chip, which is good at the same time, because the moment, they implement that RFID chip, the faster, okay, they're going to be put out of power, okay? This has to come to pass in order for for this place to be utterly, completely destroyed, man. All right, and I'm going to get this too. This is Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, okay, which, real quick, right? The word begs is mishkaf. It says lying down, sexual contact. Must have changed it, but if you go into it, it really means rest, right? And what these elites have, they have 24/7 to what? Just playing wickedness, okay? They don't work. These elite banking families, they've never worked. All they did was sat down, and that's what you people are for, the cattle are for, is to work while they sit down and make many ways on how to put, put people to death, basically. Okay, to cause death and destruction and confusion around the planet Earth. Okay? And this is what they was planning all this time, for these many decades, because this was in the plans for years and years and years and years. Okay? Let me read again. Micah 2:1 says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it's in the power of their hand. Okay? So it's destruction on you, because, like I said, when they implement this so-called, New World Order, they try to push the chip. The Lord's going to put, a stop. He's only going to let them go but so far, and he's going to put a stop to this madness that they're doing, and he's going to take them out of power. See? That's the end game to all this. Because they really believe, according to Psalms 49:11 says, for their inward thoughts is that their houses shall dwell from generation to generation. Okay? They believe that they're just going to keep ruling. It's on their watch. Well, no, it's not. Okay? This is I'm just get to the point. It says, I'll start at 14. Actually 12. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth. It's Job 20:12. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, okay? Though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned, it is the gall of asp within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly, because these elites, they own the world's wealth, basically. Okay? These elites of these Edomites, they have trillions and trillions of dollars, man. They have more money than anybody on this planet, man. Okay? That money you see that Jay-Z and all these different celebrities you see them got, that's not money. That's crumbs compared to what these bankers got, man. The Lord's going to cast him out of his belly. Okay? He's going to make him, he's going to give him that up, you know. He shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. Right? That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down according to his substance. Shall his restitution be. He shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. And who is the poor? Who is the poor? Who could the poor really apply to? It could really apply to the Israelites, because you Israelites are the only people that the Lord cares about. The rest of these nations he don't care about. But Esau has been, you know, the hammer of the whole earth, man. He's oppressed everybody. Even the people that's consulted with him to take you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans down. Okay? And taking away a house, right? What did he do? How did you Edomites get America and get wherever you're at? You stole it. Okay? Then you sat there and you put lies in place to justify how you got there, and that is yours, when it's all a lie. You stole it. You raped, robbed, and murdered. That's how you got it. Okay? It says, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. Right? And the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon them. Okay? When they think they got this microchipping, the RFID, the microchipping of the masses, when they think they finally got it accomplished, that's when it's going to be stopped. That's when the Lord's going to intervene. He's going to, you know, shut down this show that they got going on. And I'm going to go into the word wicked, because you be like, wait a minute, aren't they the wicked? Yeah, they're the wicked, but it's talking about, let me see, it says amal, it says laborer, sufferer, wretched one. Okay, so every hand of the wicked is talking about these people. Okay, that's been slaving, that's been working, you know, these poor jobs, that's been getting by paycheck to paycheck. Okay, these people are going to get their hands on this devil, man. On you devils, man. They're already doing it, okay, throughout the world with these seditions among men due to their government, you know, being corrupt. But who set up the government that these different countries have? Esau, Edom did. So they're going to come after you Edomites, man. You wait till America gets taken down. So let me read it again, just to get that out, you know, because that'll probably be like, wait a minute. So they are the wicked. So how are they going, you know? But continuing on, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon them. When he is about to fill his belly, this new world order, Yahweh shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him. He shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow still shall strike him through. Okay? And the iron weapon is what? These missiles. Okay? The ICBM thermonuclear missiles that's going to be shot off in this World War III. And America is going to be hit by all these nuclear missiles. And what's going to happen? America is going to be completely and utterly destroyed. Okay? It's going to be a desert. Just look at that movie, the Planet of the Apes. The old Planet of the Apes. The one in 1970. I forgot the name of it. And at the beginning of the scene, you had them two Edomites, and they was what? Basically slaves. Okay? And they went, and the Statue of Liberty was buried in the sand. It was what? It was just a big-ass desert. That's really going to happen. Okay? So they know their fate. But because they're wicked and they're prideful, they're still going to try to push, okay? Try to push for this new world order, okay? But right when they do it, that's when everything is gonna go backwards. Everything's already going backwards. You know, it is drawn, it cometh out of the body, yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of this gal, terrors are upon them. Okay? All darkness shall be hid, secret places, a fire shall not blown, a fire not blown shall consume him, and it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Okay? Because all you Edomites, okay, you going into captivity after this. Okay? The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from Yahweh by Shemel shall inheritance appointed unto him by Yahweh. So this is going to be the end game, okay? They think they're going to accomplish this new world order, okay? But the end game is you won't accomplish it. You're going to be destroyed, and you're going into slavery, okay? That's the end of all this, and this is what we're getting ready to come into, okay? Just by what you're seeing, this coronavirus, okay? This could be it, okay? So, that's it. Yahweh Ratazah, this was edifying, which is Lord willing. Call hello Allah Yahweh by Shemel Shah. Shalom to the elect. Baba Gashah, Abba Baba, Baba Baba, Baha Ayapia, Baha Ayapia. Shalom to the elect.